Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another week of a Bitachon message from the Parsha. We're holding here the beginning of the Torah, Parshas Noach already, and there are many beautiful messages of Bitachon and Emunah in this week's Parsha. I want to speak about one of them. There is the story that everybody is familiar with, which is not spoken about specifically in the Torah. It's based upon one pasuk, one verse, and it is a midrash. And the verse tells us at the very end of the parsha the following words: Vayikach Terach es Avram. Terach, who was the father of Avram, took his son, the Esloit ben Haran, and he took his nephew Lot. The Eis Sarai Kalosai Eshes Avram, and Sarai, who was the wife of Avram. The Yetzu Itam Me'or Kazdim, and they left a city by the name of Or Kasdim. And Chazal learned out on Or Kasdim that this was the city where the showdown between Avram Avinu and Nimrod, the great Russia of the time, took place. Nimrod wanted nothing more than that Avram would bow down to him, show his allegiance to Nimrod and not to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He couldn't stand that there was a man in the world who believed in the God of the universe. And Avram Avinu said, I won't bow down to you. And Nimrod said, if you don't, I'm going to throw you into the fiery furnace, the fires of Or Kasdim. And Avram Avinu said, throw me into the fires and let me be burnt to smithereens, for I shall not bow down to a man of flesh and blood. I only believe in one God. And they take him and they throw him into the fires of Or Kasdim. And there in that cauldron of fire, as everybody's watching on, and ready to hear the screaming and the shrieking of Avram that is being burnt up, lo and behold, there are malachim, there are angels that are dancing around in there with him, protecting him from the fires. And before they know it, Avram emerges, not even singed, the one hair on his head. His body is intact. There's no scarring, there's no burning, there's nothing. And he walks out as a maimin, as a believer in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And the whole world begins to follow Avram Avinu because they realize he has something that nobody else in the world has attained. That's called Emunah and Bitachon in Hashem. And Avram Avinu, remember, there was no Torah in the world as we know it. There were no yeshivas in the world as we know it. There were no communities of Yidden, of frum, religious Jews as we know it that were serving HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There was only Avram Avinu. But Avram Avinu's Emunah and his Bitachon was so strong, it was so powerful, it was so deeply embedded inside of his heart and his soul and his spiritual psyche, that when he was confronted with a dilemma, should I allow myself to be burned up for the sake of Hashem, or should I just bow down momentarily over here so I can live and go forward in life? Avram Avinu said, a person of Emunah and a person of Bitachon, he does not give in to the pressures that are around him. He does not weaken at a time when he has to be strong. He does not bow in subservience to powers in the physical world that are mightier than him. Rather, a person aligns himself with full allegiance to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he believes with Emunah and Bitachon, tremendous reliance on HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that my job is to do what Hashem wants me to do. If the Borei Olam wants me to live, then I will live. If the Borei Olam wants me to die, then I will die. If HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants me to become a leader amongst the generation and bring everybody back to belief in Hashem, so be it. If HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants me to have my last hurrah in this world, the grand finale of my life will be to show that you don't bow down to flesh and blood, even if it means that you have to give up your life, that's what I will do. And the Midrash tells us that Avram Avinu went without a doubt, without a hesitance, without a delay, without worrying, am I doing the right thing, doing the wrong thing? No, I'm doing for the sake of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And he jumped in with all the force, with all the belief, with all the Emunah Bitachon. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu made a nace, a big nace in the eyes of everybody, and that nace was a revelation that there really is only one God. And that God is much more powerful than anyone and anything that is here in this world. It's interesting to note that the Torah itself does not speak about this episode. It's concealed in the words or Kazdim, the fires of Kazdim. It's concealed in there. It's only explained to us in the Midrash. And perhaps the answer is because the Emunah and the Bitachon that a person has, his belief and his trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's between you and Hashem. It's not something you have to broadcast. You don't have to let everybody know. It's something that is the private, intimate relationship that you have with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem is the one that knows how deep the well springs of Emunah are. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one who knows how passionate and how committed you are in the world of bitachon, of trusting in Hashem. And we do things in this world not to find favor in the eyes of people. We do things in this world to find favor in the eyes of the Ribono Shel Olam. And every little drop of Emunah that I strengthen inside of my mind and my heart, HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows about it, and we become closer to Hashem. Every feeling and every understanding and every thought of bitachon that we have, and everything that I'm willing to act upon in the world of bitachon, in the world of trust, that's between me and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and it strengthens and it solidifies the relationship that I have with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem knows I'm someone that He can rely upon and He can trust upon. Avraham Avinu wasn't there to broadcast his Emunah and Bitachon. It happened to be that the way that Nimrod did the entire situation was in the eyes of all the people in the town, that they should see for Nimrod's glory that he was more powerful and mighty. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu turned everything around. Not that Avraham Avinu was looking for glory, not that he was looking to become world famous, not that he wanted that his name should go from one end of the world to the other, but rather his intention was, I'm here, l'shem shamayim, for the sake of Hashem. There's no way I'm going to bow down to this Rasha. I only bow down to Hashem. If it means I must give up my life, that's what I do. Everybody's watching. It'll be a chil Hashem if I die. It won't be a chil Hashem. Why? Because I'm doing it for the sake of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to show just how much I believe. But Hashem turned it all around. And He made it the greatest Kiddush Hashem that the world had seen up until that point. Avraham Avinu, he emerges from the Or Kazdim, the fires of Kazdim, unscathed, not burned, not tarnished, nothing. He's all for the sake of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And this is in our life. Our Emunah Bitachon, it's to strengthen the relationship that we have with Hashem. Just like a husband and a wife, the most private matters in their life are behind closed doors. It's just for a husband and a wife. It's not to be advertised. It's not to be seen. The deeper feelings of ava, of love, that a husband and a wife share for each other, nobody else has to be privy to just how deep that love is. So too in the world of Emunah and Bitachon, the deepest levels of Emunah and Bitachon that I have is between me and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, between me and Hashem. Rabbi Avigdor Miller Zatzal, towards the end of his life, several years before he passed away, he went through a major, I believe it was a heart attack and heart surgery, and it was really it was a miracle that he survived. Not just survived, but he survived so healthily and so strongly that really he bounced back, and he was right back to himself, learning and teaching and advising and meeting with people and running his yeshiva and running all of his drushes, his speeches and the like. And that year, the yeshiva decided that they're going to honor Rabbi Avigdor Miller at their annual banquet. And he gets up to speak. And everybody was anticipating a beautiful drasha about how he was going to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for all the miracles, for all the chesed that Hashem did, how He saved his life and He gave him back his vigor and his strength, and he's going to go forward in serving Hashem. And he gets up to speak, and everybody's waiting to hear the sagely words of Rabbi Avigdor Miller. How is he going to explain, and how is he going to profess his gratitude to Hashem for all the miracles that were done? And Rabbi Avigdor Miller Zatzal got up and he said over, thank you Hashem for the miracles that you have made for me. And he paused, and then he went into a drasha that spoke about something else. And everybody realized at that moment that the levels that Rabbi Avigdor Miller had in his relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it was private. The Emunah, the Bitachon, the gratitude that he had towards Hashem, it was between him and the Bara Alma and the Creator of the world. And it wasn't for him to publicize. It wasn't for him to show. It wasn't for him to broadcast to the world. It's so intimate and it's so private. It is something that existed between him and HaKadosh Baruch Hu and made their relationship something that was special and unique. Avraham Avinu teaches us in the world of Emunah and the world of Bitachon, it's between you and Hashem. Anivuhu, it's me and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Does everybody have to know what you're holding? No. The more that you share it, the more you cheapen the relationship. The more that you tell people what a big Baal Bitachon you are, how much Emunah you have, the smaller your Emunah becomes, because it has become something that is public. It's not private and unique between you and Hashem. May we be Zeicha Im Yetz Hashem to continue to grow in our Emunah, our Bitachon, which is the key to the beautiful relationship that we are fostering between us and Hashem. And may HaKadosh Baruch Hu have a nachas from each and every one of us as we continue to grow and we continue to attain higher heights in our Emunah, in our Bitachon, and we make an even more beautiful relationship between us and Hashem. Have a wonderful day.